Hi, I'm Jim Gray with the Thrive Real Estate Network at EXP Realty, and I want to talk to you about timing and motivation. We hear a lot in our industry when you're working with a buyer or a seller, you have to be clear on timing and motivation. Here's the challenge, and maybe you've run into this. People may misrepresent what their real timing and motivation actually is. Let me give you an example. Have you ever been working with a buyer that you've shown, 10, 12 houses to, and they're like, well, I got to think about it. Well, let me think about it. And in this market in particular, there's no thinking about it. When you walk into that house, you've got 10 seconds. It's either yes or it's either no or we're writing an offer right now. But if you have this happen where they absolutely have a reason to buy, oh, we got a baby coming, and they're qualified to buy, and they're like, man, we really want to. And as agents, we're quick to assume, well, that's it, timing and motivation. But may I say, that is not always the case. So I want to give you a little exercise, a little way to locate the actual timing and motivation of your buyers and sellers so that you are only focusing on people who have to take action, okay? We call this the 4 quadrants, and here's what they are. It's very simple. Positive present, negative present, positive future, or negative future. You are trying to locate in one of these 4 quadrants any person with whom you are working. If they're a buyer client, where are they in the 4 quadrants? So here's what I mean. Let's use buyers as an example because it's so competitive right now on the buyer side trying to find them houses. So it's critical, would you not agree, to make sure that the buyers that you're investing your precious time with actually have to make a move. So let's assume with the buyer, yes, Jim, oh my gosh, we really want to move. Here's our pre-qual letter, and we're just ready to go. Here's a question that I would ask every single buyer you're working with. Great. Ideally, when do you want to be in your home? Oh my gosh, right away. Yeah, right away. Okay, follow up with this. Okay, I got it. Let me ask you this. If you were still living where you're living 6 months from today, because we haven't been able to find the perfect home, is that okay? Then be quiet, and if they go, oh, yeah, that's okay. Well, you've just learned something. These people don't have to move for at least 6 months. Continue to interrogate. Okay, got it. So 6 months. Let me ask you this. I mean, ideally or conceptually, if you were still living where you are a year from today, would that be okay? Yeah, we wouldn't prefer it, but, we're comfortable here. We'd like to find something sooner, but I guess, if we were here a year from today, I guess that would be all right. Here's what you know. These people are in positive present. What that means is people who are in positive present will not take action. It doesn't matter if they're pre-qualified. It doesn't matter if they have a high desire. If they are comfortable where they are, they will not take action. So what you as the agent have to do is dig and find out how to move them from positive present into negative present, or to positive future or negative future. Here's what I mean. Okay, let's go back. Somebody is living with their parents. Yeah, but they just moved to town. Okay, so ideally, when would you like to move? Right away. Okay, tell me about that. This is a great question. We want to move right away. Okay, don't assume. Never, never, never assume. The best question you can always follow up with is, tell me about that. Oh, you know what? We're living with my parents and we are cramped. Okay, don't assume. Okay, so how long do you think you can live? How long do you think you can stand to be that cramped? Well, let's put it this way, Jim. My wife and my mom do not get along. So here's 2 things are going to happen, Jim. Either A, we find a house, or B, I'm going to live down by the river. Okay, so what you're saying is we need to find something tomorrow. Is that right? Yes. Okay, I still did. So let me ask you a question. If you were still living with your parents in 90 days. Could you make that work? And they're going to say one of two things. Oh, no, 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 no. Or they'll say, we could make it work. Yeah, we could make it work. You follow me? So this is a person who has who's in negative present. Negative present. So now you know what their pain point is, and you keep going back to that. So that's when now you tell them, in this market, the average days on market is 72 hours. Everything is selling at 5 to 8% above list. So what I'm just telling you is, Fred, if you want to be out of your parents' basement within the next 45 days, I'm going to show you 5 houses. You're going to pick one, and we're going to have to go over list price. Are you ready for that? And do you see the energy that I have right now as I'm telling you this, and the eye contact I'm making with you virtually right now? You've got to bring that to this conversation so they understand what they are in for. Okay, let's give another example. Somebody who wants to sell. Great, you want to sell, that's awesome. Ideally, when would you like to make your move? We'd like to make it, by late this year. Oh, okay, tell me about that. Well, my wife retires in the early summer, and we want to spend Christmas in the Florida Keys. Oh, what's important to you about that? Well, Jim, we've been vacationing in the Keys for the last 10 years. We love it, and that's where we want to spend our golden years. That sounds amazing. So let me ask you a question. If you didn't make the move this year, would it be okay to make the move next year? And they'll say something like, oh no, that would not be good. No. My wife has made it clear to me that she wants to be in the Keys by the fall. So that's the positive future. We want to be there. And if you missed the fall, would that be okay? That would not be okay, because my wife will not be happy about that. That's the negative future. Okay, Fred, so what you're saying to me is we need to have you in the Keys by the fall, because that's the main thing here. Is that right? Yes, it is. And then you work backwards from that. Okay? So the thing I want you to do right now is just kind of marinate in what I've said. The buyers you're working with now, where are they in these 4 quadrants? Do you have buyers in positive present? If they're in positive present, they will not buy a house. Here's how you can tell people that are in positive present. They say, we'll move when the perfect house appears. That is a red flag. Of course, who wouldn't move when the perfect house appears? The question is, these are the houses that are available right now. Are you prepared to let them go and continue in your present living situation? If the answer is, well, yeah, that's a person in positive present. They're not going to make a move. Here's the other thing. If somebody says, well, I'm going to move as soon as the perfect house arrives. Okay, great. How long can you wait for that? And this is really important. Let them put a time frame around it. Motivation, desire, ability, those are important. But what trumps all of them right now is time frame. If you don't know the time frame, you don't know if you actually have a buyer or a seller. You may be working with lots of looky-loos or prospects, but you may not be working with clients. Okay? So whenever you're talking to any prospect, you always want to hone in on the timing. And the way you hone in on the timing is you work with the 4 quadrants. I hope you found that helpful.